theaters are, of course, entirely empty, do understand that having people buy tickets is an important part of success in your industry. Rachel Zegler, I guess, didn't get the memo.
It did try to paint her out as the reason why Snow White flopped because of her expressing her political views.
Need no man.
She's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
I don't think Disney anticipated that it really has a deep and strong emotional place in their childhoods and throughout their lives.
Sounds like you're one of the only ones there, just like Rachel Zegler, as it turns out, and we part with this video of Rachel Zegler alone in a theater watching herself.
After Snow White released, actress Rachel Zegler went to see her movie in an empty theater, showing how nobody wanted to watch the movie.
Rachel Zegler just took another hit, and this one's not some harmless meme or Twitter clapback. It's the real deal, live, on stage, in front of rows and rows of empty seats at a London theater. After the whole Snow White chaos, she was betting big on her stage debut in Evita to fix her image. But spoiler alert, it's crashing even harder than her last movie. Ticket sales are in free fall, and trust, she knows it. You can see the stress all over her face during interviews. This ain't stage fright, it's pure regret. Those bold takes she made about Snow White? Yeah, people aren't letting that slide. It's still haunting her like a bad headline that won't go away. Now, if you missed it, Rachel's playing Eva Perón in the West End revival of Evita at the iconic London Palladium. This isn't just any gig, it's huge. We're talking 2,286 seats, Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice level legendary. But here's the shocker. Entire sections of the theater are just sitting there, totally unsold. Reports say over 74% of the seats are still wide open. And get this, some tickets are selling for just €29.50. That's insanely low for a show of this scale. And still, crickets. Even the expensive seats aren't moving. Meanwhile, over on TikTok, the drama keeps rolling. A clip from the Met Gala shows Rachel getting tons of love in the comments, while Gal Gadot, who literally stayed out of the mess, is somehow catching heat. Make it make sense.
It did try to paint her out as the reason why Snow White flopped because of her expressing her political views. Even though her co-star, who I shall not name, also had shared her political views, she still got invited to the Met Gala, but she will not be attending.
And yet somehow, Rachel's the one stuck with a theater that barely anyone wants to step foot in. It's like the whole internet flipped upside down. So I had to see it for myself, jumped on the official booking page, and wow. Row after row of empty seats staring back at me for every single night in June, July, and August. It's not like folks forgot she's performing. It's more like they remembered and decided they're just not down to support her anymore. This isn't even about Snow White at this point. It's personal. People still haven't moved on from when she slammed the original fairy tale called The Prince a stalker and turned what could have been a fun reboot into a full-on lecture.
Need no man.
She's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
I don't think Disney anticipated that it really has a deep and strong emotional place in their childhoods and throughout their lives. And maybe that film from 1937 did not need to be reimagined.
And let's not ignore the numbers. Snow White made over $200 million, sure, but it still flopped. Why? Because Disney reportedly dropped nearly $600 million on production, reshoots, and promo. That kind of loss is no joke. It was so brutal, Disney quietly put their Tangled remake on ice. Word is, it was going to be even more modern and politically loaded.
Action Rapunzel is officially happening, and Florence Pugh will allegedly play Rapunzel. And while she seems like the perfect choice for the role because of how much they look alike, people in the comments had a lot to say. From some saying that the movie's ruined already, to others saying scrap it altogether, to most people complaining that Florence is too old to play the role and Rapunzel's supposed to be 18. Which in my opinion is a ridiculous statement because Florence is in her 20s and she could easily pass for Rapunzel.
So here's the real deal. This flop isn't just about one play. It's exposing something way bigger. Rachel Zegler is fast becoming the cautionary tale no one in Hollywood wants to talk about. Studios bet big on her after just one major role, West Side Story, trying to make her Disney's new golden girl. But the audience, they never bought in. And now, after Snow White bombed and her theater gigs can't even fill seats. The message couldn't be clearer. Fans want the real deal, not some diva attitude. And theater, it doesn't lie. You can't cut around a bad turnout. You can't slap on a filter. If no one's buying tickets, you're up there performing for empty chairs. It's brutal, wild how the same industry that can sell out Hamilton in seconds can't even fill half the seats for Evita. And it's starring Rachel Zegler. And no, this isn't just a rough opening night or a slow patch. It's been going on, night after night, the same thing. The London Palladium holds a massive 2,286 seats. And it doesn't matter if they drop prices or hype the show. People still aren't turning up.
Just like Rachel Zegler, as it turns out, and we part with this video of Rachel Zegler alone in a theater watching herself. One of the most unlikable humans
That
ever.
is sadder than when the original Snow White eats the apple.
And here's the wildest part. Word is the production had already made around $4 million in ticket sales before they even announced Rachel as the lead. So what happened? If all that money came in early, why are there still full rows left wide open? Now, fans are starting to talk. They're pointing it out, calling out the drop in energy since her casting. This isn't just about numbers, it's about connection. And right now, Rachel's not giving the crowd a reason to care. Reddit's already lighting up with threads asking if that $4 million pre-sale figure was just a PR stunt to fake hype and boost buzz. And honestly, it's not adding up. If that much was sold early, how is it still this easy to grab front row seats? Something's off. That's the cold truth. Film studios can fake success with trailers and fancy editing, but theater? Theater doesn't lie. Rachel can't just pop into the premiere crowd, smile for the cameras, and act like she's one of the fans this time. Nah, this is live. She's on that stage facing rows of empty seats. You can't spin that. That kind of silence? It's the kind of embarrassment even the best Hollywood PR machine can't bury. What's wild is how the studios keep pushing her. Hard. At this point, it's looking less like confidence and more like straight-up denial. Execs acting like if they plaster Rachel on enough stages, screens, and talk shows, we'll all magically fall in love with her. Spoiler alert, that's not how this works. You don't just force a fan base into existence, and Rachel's not the first one Hollywood tried to fast-track into stardom. Remember Sam Worthington, Jai Courtney, big money, big roles? But the audience just didn't vibe with them. You can't teach charisma. You can't buy loyalty. You have to earn it. And what makes this worse? Rachel hit that stage right after the Snow White backlash. She was already walking on thin ice. Jumping into live theater right after that, it's like stepping onto a tightrope, barefoot, blindfolded, and with your shoes untied. Some folks point to Rachel's Broadway run in Romeo plus Juliet and say, hey, that was a win. It reportedly pulled in $7 million. But that was before she became the poster girl for all things messy in modern Hollywood. Now, when fans see her name in lights, it's not, wow, a star. It's more like, ugh, here comes another Disney-style lecture in disguise. And that's the real shame. Rachel might actually have talent, but this isn't just about talent anymore. It's about timing, attitude, and whether people even want to hear from her. In live theater, there's no hiding, no take two. If the crowd's not feeling you, you feel it. Every single night. That silence, that's real. Now look, this isn't some cancel culture rant. No one's saying Rachel's a bad person. But facts are facts. Her public image has been shaped way more by her own interviews than by any role she's played. That whole vibe she gives off, like she's talking at people instead of to them, feels cold, dismissive, and a little too preachy. And yeah, people are tuning out. A fan even posted on TikTok about meeting Rachel in real life, and let's just say it didn't help her case.
He's Coxie. Amelia Solano. So I actually met Rachel Zegler in New York after her Broadway show performing Romeo and Juliet, and let me just say I have a couple opinions on her after meeting her in person. First, I will say I completely understand how people took what she said about Snow White and how she promoted that and just took it negatively, because I did too. Like, I genuinely did not like the way that she was talking about her character and stuff, but I have to say that in person, oh my god, she is so sweet, and not only that, she is ridiculously talented. Like, in that show, her singing actually blew me away. I've never heard anyone sing that well in person. I can't explain it. It was just amazing. I know there are some clips on TikTok where people secretly record the show. I highly recommend you guys go watch that because her riffs were insane, and she only had like one singing part, but that was my favorite part of the entire show. She is genuinely really talented and a nice person. I just think that the way that she talks and the way that she presents herself to the camera does not always bode well with people, but that doesn't make her a bad person. So yeah, that's my unpopular opinion on her.
The vibe, ice cold. Nothing like the warm, charming energy fans were hoping for. But somehow, the media keeps pushing the rising star narrative. Golden Globe winner, Hollywood sweetheart. Come on now. This feels more like old school PR trying to clean up a mess that's already 6 feet deep. Her last big role in the Hunger Games prequel, it was fine, but let's be real. That movie could have sold tickets on autopilot. The franchise name alone brings in crowds. People showed up for Hunger Games, not for Rachel. And yet, Hollywood keeps backing her like they've doubled down and can't walk away. Because if they admit she wasn't the right fit for Snow White or that audiences just aren't connecting, it's not just Rachel's image that takes a hit, it's theirs too. It's the execs who backed her. They're the ones feeling the heat now. Big names like Spielberg, who reportedly pushed for Rachel to land Snow White in the first place, have gone silent. No public support, no damage control, nothing. It's like they're crossing their fingers and hoping this whole mess fades away without a sound.
More to do with Gal Gadot calling out Rachel Zegler and putting her in the hot seat, as well as Disney when bringing up the production issues for Snow White. Now, Gal delivered the following. The most important thing when you are working on a film is teamwork, and when you have characters like the Evil Queen and Snow White, you expect teamwork to play a role in the creative process when you are trying to put something special together. We didn't really have teamwork, and there were many setbacks that we had to deal with during this entire process, and I just found that to be very exhausting. When you are acting, you expect your co-stars and the creatives to go all the way and to support each other, and we just didn't meet those expectations.
Meanwhile, behind the scenes, there's more smoke. Word is Gal Gadot, who co-starred in Snow White, wasn't just frustrated by the public backlash, but also by the messy vibes on set. Reports say she's been venting privately about the lack of professionalism during filming. She hasn't dropped any names, but come on, who else is she talking about? And that's the bigger problem. Rachel might have the voice, she's got the look, but what she doesn't seem to have is the key ingredient, connection. In Hollywood, it's not just about reading lines. It's about earning trust, respecting the audience, showing up humble, especially when you're stepping into roles people grew up loving. But instead, Rachel came out swinging, mocking the classics, clowning on fan favorites, calling legendary fairy tales weird. And fans? They remember that. That's why even though she's got talent, her stardom just doesn't feel real. It feels forced, manufactured, like someone trying too hard to make fetch happen. It's not growing naturally, it's being shoved into the spotlight. And the saddest part, she's not the only one paying the price. Every actor, every crew member, every creative who poured their time into Snow White now has to wear that flop label too, all because of one person's attitude. That's why studios are switching tactics, not by canceling Rachel Zegler outright, but by slowly fading her out of the spotlight. It's like the Hollywood version of ghosting. 1 minute, you're the face of a major reboot, and the next, you're just gone. She might still pop up at award shows or do a press junket here and there, but let's be real, the star machine is hitting the brakes fast. So what's the real takeaway here? Rachel's career isn't dead, but it's definitely been put on pause. And not because she bombed one role or lacked talent. Nope, it's because she skipped over the most important rule in the game. The audience decides who wins, not the headlines, not the studio execs, the fans. Hollywood rolled out the red carpet for her, gave her the roles, the press love, the shiny awards, but forgot the part where she actually had to connect. You can't fake that. You can't force people to care. And now we're watching the fallout play out in real time through empty theater seats and a tidal wave of comments online. And honestly, we hope she figures it out. Nobody wants to see talent go to waste. But if she doesn't take the hint, someone else will rise up. Someone who does get it. someone who respects the fans, shows love for the craft, and puts the story first, not the politics, not the lectures, because at the end of the day, audiences just want to be entertained, not scolded. And here's the twist no one's talking about. While Rachel's spotlight dims, others are quietly sliding in to claim the space she left behind. New faces with less baggage, more charm, and a way better read on what audiences actually want. These rising stars aren't trying to rewrite classics or stir the pot. They're showing up, doing the work, and letting their performances speak loud. Meanwhile, Rachel's name is starting to pop up in fewer cast lists and more comment threads. Not for wins, but for warnings. She's becoming the what not to do case study in Hollywood boardrooms. Execs are taking notes, and now every rising star is being told, don't pull a Zegler. Because here's the truth. Once the crowd stops rooting for you, the fall hits hard. Fame moves fast, and sympathy has a short shelf life. One bad headline turns into 10. One interview clip gets chopped, reposted, and dragged for weeks. And when your brand becomes more about drama than talent, you're in trouble. And even with all that noise, Rachel hasn't done the one thing that could shift the narrative. A real moment of humility. No big apology, no vibe check, just more red carpets and half smirks like nothing's wrong. That's not confidence. It reads as disconnect. And in today's world, that's the quickest way to lose a fan base for good. So what's your take? Was Rachel Zegler just caught in the storm? Or did Hollywood try way too hard to force a star the audience never asked for? Is this a brutal fall from grace? Or just the industry finally learning a lesson in listening? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear it all. Was it the roles, the attitude, the timing? Let's get into it because you already know. We'll be reading every single one. And hey, if you're into unfiltered breakdowns like this, smash that like button, share it with someone who's been watching the drama unfold, and hit that subscribe so you never miss a deep dive. The stories are only getting wilder from here. Catch you on the next one.